it's a bonus. We get one more concert tomorrow. If the rain doesn't rain us out here, we will be here. If it does rain us out, we'll be at the memorial. We have Gretchen O'Donnell and Bill Keitch is our intermission for tonight. So enjoy. Here's Gretchen.
Hi there. Like he said, I'm Gretchen O'Donnell. It's always a lovely treat to be here, and so thank you very much for having me back. I'll be talking about it some as the evening goes on, but we lived across the street there for a while, and so it's fun to be back. Okay, so I have a couple of public service announcements for you. First off, Boy Scouts have their popcorn, so there they are. If you need some popcorn or water, pop. So give them your custom if you would be willing. And also, just a reminder that the city has moved the fireworks to tonight. So there will not be fireworks tomorrow night as I understand it. They will all be tonight. So I'm assuming it's going to be extra double fun because both nights combined. So anyway, just FYI, that'll be at dusk tonight. So I am the Family Life Coordinator at the Methodist Church here in town, which means I kind of do a little bit of everything. We are between pastors for a few weeks right now, so we've always laughed that I never really had a proper job description, and that's really playing true right now, because I do things like upload videos, or at least try to, or find hex keys to do things with, or preach for 3 times, for example. It's a little hectic, but it's good, and I love being there, and I love the people there. So, one of the things that we did, we'll do on Saturday, I got to make a seating chart for a Twins game. So if you want to be a Methodist, you can go to a Twins game. All right, so it really does make me appreciate everything that pastors do. It sort of gives you a new awareness of all that. So thank you to all of you who are pastors. Appreciate you guys. All right, so yes, we can clap. I have a lot of connections with people back here, including my pastor and then the pastor I worked for and whatnot, so it's fun. I've never played an instrument in my life other than the piano very badly, so I'm never going to join y'all, but it's fun to know a lot of these people. Okay, so our concert begins with Carl King's 1943 Lexington March. This carousel march opens with a crisp trumpet fanfare. King was originally a cornet player, and he bought his first instrument at age 14. Later, he switched to euphonium. Thus, the low brass is an important feature in many of his marches, including this one. King was also known for his, fun fact, mustache. I'm going to have a few fun facts for you tonight. When his mustache, worn since 1919, was shaved in 1956, you can do the math there, I'm not gonna, the local paper's headline jokingly stated, "Fort Dodge loses another famous landmark." Please enjoy King's stirring Lexington March. just realized a requirement, I believe, for having people be MCs, and that is the ability to tap your toe to the music. It's impossible to not do that when you're sitting there, so it's fun. All right. I sat in the audience last Wednesday as Jan Lowe shared a lot of reminiscences of that she had gotten of people remembering Chautauqua Park. And I got to thinking about a few of my own. And now I haven't lived in Worthington long enough to have childhood memories of the park, but I have been here for 27 years, and 8 of those years were in that house right in the corner of Winifred, right over there. So, I'm going to give you a few fun facts as we go on this evening. One of the things that I learned while living across the street from here was that Chautauqua Park has, I'm not even sure what's still there. You know those red wooden park signs that are all over Worthington? I don't know if it's still there, gotta admit, but it was there when I lived there. And I would look at that sign out of our window and I would think, how many other words in the alphabet have 3 U's in them? And if you can come up with one, I would like to hear it at the end of this evening, because C-H-A-T-A-U-Q-U-A, that's a lot of U's in there. Chautauqua, here's your fun fact, is actually an Iroquoian or Seneca word, meaning one has taken out fish there. So raise your hands if you've taken out any fish from this lake. All right, good. I have not, but I really enjoy watching an ice house go out in front of our house. I just get a huge kick out of that. So thank you if you're any of those people. All right, our next number is titled Sundance. It's an original composition by a different Carl, not our famous Carl King, but Carl Straumann, and it depicts sounds of the American West. Straumann has found great success in writing music with uniquely American themes for concert bands, orchestras, and jazz bands. Sundance begins with the sun rising over a horizon in a slow chorale, and soon the tempo increases and suggests a bright country feel and lively barn dance. Straumann uses both energetic woodwind lines and sharp brass statements. So imagine yourself in the West while listening to Sundance. new one. That was fun. I, well, I just don't remember them all, I guess. But I do remember Carl King, that's for sure. All right, here's a fun fact. Actually, not a fact, it's a story. So when we lived in that house over there, woke up one night in the middle of the night. I had been dreaming that I was dancing, which is pretty funny because I'm not a dancer. But I'm dreaming that a ballet dancer was telling me all the different things I needed to do and how to walk and how to step. And I woke up and I realized that through the open window, a policeman was having a drunk driver do the test. You know, you have to walk in a straight line and have, it was, I don't know, it was pretty funny. And so, you know, it really didn't have anything to do with the park, but just right there, I think of that story from time to time. You just never know what you're going to see when you're at the park. And that is my point. Now our next song is a lullaby, but I'll get to the people watching part here in a second. So living there, we had this great view, like say, of people at the park. We would see horseshoe enthusiasts, we would see picnickers. Back then, the seniors had their breakfast here, and so we would see the seniors on graduation day. And I just always enjoyed people watching at the park. So that's your fun fact. If you just are feeling like you just kind of want to be mellow and just sit there and watch, sit there on one of those benches and you're going to be entertained. But this next song is less wild and crazy people and drunk people walking. This is more of a calm song. All right, so I would actually sing lullabies to my kids in that house to this basic tune, because the next song is called Hymn for a Child, and it is based on Jesus Loves Me, which, fun fact, was originally written as a poem in 1860 to comfort a dying child. William Bradbury added the melody 2 years later. So tonight, Hymn for a Child features a striking flute melody, suggestive of the voice of a child with its simple beauty. And adding rich harmonies, the piece builds to a big finish. It was composed by James Swearingen, who is one of our country's most performed composers in concert band literature. So sit back and relax. Maybe don't people watch right now, just close your eyes as you listen to the smooth, moving melodies in Swearingen's Hymn to a Child. So I grew up on an island in Washington State, and we were about 2 hours north of Seattle. And a couple times a year, occasionally, the Seattle Symphony or the Bellevue Philharmonic or someone like that would come, and they'd go in the high school gym and they would give a performance. And so I was, I don't know, maybe 11 years old, and I was there with my mom, and we were really close. I mean, probably as close as I am to these people now. And they played Pictures of an Exhibition. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with that music, but it's very loud. And I sat there as an 11-year-old, and it's just kind of everywhere. It's kind of a modern piece. And when it was done, everyone was jumping up and clapping, and I turned to my mother and I said, frankly, I think that was a little much. I wish I could tell that 11-year-old self now how wonderful it is to sit so close and hear you guys. It's awesome. So any of y'all should just volunteer to do this next year, because this is the prime seat. I love it. I did learn another fun fact while living so close to the park, and that is, since I grew up, like I say, not around here, I came here and I was not impressed by winter. Winter in Washington is more like spring in Minnesota. And I don't mean this spring, but like a really warm spring. But I lived over here, and as soon as it would start to get warm, there would be people playing at the park. And I thought, you know what? Minnesotans are hardy people, and I like that. I don't know if I'll ever be, if I can be a dyed-in-the-wool Minnesotan, but at least my children are, and my husband is, so that's good. So that's a fun fact. Minnesotans, Worthingtonians, are impressively strong people, says the Pacific Northwest girl. Throughout the band's season, they try to feature different sections of the band. We just had a wonderful flute solo. We're going to get some more flute stuff going on now. Our next tune features our fantastic flute section. Rondo for Flutes was originally composed by Ludwig van Beethoven. A rondo is typically the final movement in a longer composition. Tonight, we will be playing an arrangement by Eric Osterling, a talented arranger of pop songs for concert band. He was also a phenomenal band director and composer from the East Coast. This piece gives the woodwinds a chance to shine, so enjoy Beethoven's Rondo for Flutes. I'm not sure that Bill Keitel really needs an introduction, but Bill is going to play for us. Bill has had his part in helping to put Worthington on the map, including something at the Smithsonian, correct? Which I think is pretty amazingly awesome. So thanks, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you, Gretchen. Yeah, I'd like to thank the sound man. My mic works. Aaron, stand up, Aaron. Aaron, right here. Give Aaron a big round of applause. I do because I care. Perfect. The first song I'm going to do is a song that was written in the Depression by one of my personal musical heroes. He was a jazz musician. His name was Wilmeth Houdini, and he grew up in the Depression era. So this is a song called Poor But Ambitious. Oh, and before I start, why don't we give the amazing Worthington City Band a round of applause? I'm too proud to beg, too honest to steal. Employer, listen to my appeal. I'm too proud to beg, too honest to steal. Employer, listen to my appeal. Night and day, I wander the street to provide for something to eat. And employers, it's up to you. Won't you give me something to do? I'm not asking for social equality, to rank with the rich in their company, to ride around Worthington in their motor cars, to live in their penthouses, smoke their cigars. All I want is a job and an equal wage to provide for now and old age. And employers, it's up to you. Won't you give me something to do? The reason I'm appealing to you is I've got a wife, 4 children, and a mother too. We reside in the West Indies, and they're most financially dependent on me. Night and day, I think I should die. I feel like I could commit suicide. And employers, it's up to you. Won't you give me something to do? I'm not the crooner, a Rudy Valley. No, 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 the songbird, Mr. Bing Crosby. And I want you to understand, I'm not Guy Lombardo, a Paul Whiteman. No, my name is I'm a Houdini, calypso singer from the West Indies. Every man was born to be free from suppression and misery. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where passion's fit? Putting on a Ritz. Different types wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fit. Putting on a Ritz. Well, dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Snooper duper, let's mix with Rockefellers, walk sticks and their umbrellas in their midst. Putting on a Ritz. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion's fit? Putting on a Ritz. Well, dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying Here's a song that you may know. It was written by a man by the name of Pablo Fanke. Does anybody know Pablo Fanke? He was a circus magnate back in the 1880s, and he was performing in London. And back in 1964, John Lennon found one of his posters on Portobello Road, and it's a road that I know well. And he found the poster, and he took the entire poster verbatim and turned it into a song. And he wrote the music, but Pablo Fanke in 1880 wrote all the words. It goes like this. For the benefit of Mr. Kite, there will be a show tonight on trampoline. The Hendersons will all be there, laid at Pablo Fanke's fair. What a scene! Over men and horses, hoops and garters, lastly through a hogshead of real fire. In this way, Mr. K, well, he'll challenge the world. Sound. And Mr. K will demonstrate 10 somersets he'll undertake on solid ground. Well, it's been some days in preparation. A splendid time is guaranteed for all. And of course, Henry the horse, well, he'll dance the waltz. 1, 2, 3. The band begins at 10 to 6 when Mr. Kite performs his tricks at Bishop's Gate. And Mr. K will demonstrate 10 somersets he'll undertake. Don't be late. Mr. K and Nature show the public their production will be second to none. And tonight, Mr. Kite, well, he's topping the bill. He's topping the bill. Oh, thank you both so much. Thank you. This is a song from 1927. It's written by a man by the name of Fats Waller. They didn't pay too much, they enjoyed kind of cute monikers back then. But Fats Waller made this song popular, and it actually didn't become real popular until the late 40s. And he made these these three notes, very popular. And tell me how you feel about these three notes. It's this one, and this one, and this one. And when you combine those notes, you get this. It seems hard to think that would possibly be a hit song, but it was. It was one of the best-selling songs back then. And it went like this. Hang on, my guitar must be stuck. Oh, well, I wish I could shimmy like my sister Kate. Shimmy's like jelly on a plate. Mama wanted to know late last night. Well, what makes the boys think she's so nice? Well, all the boys in the neighborhood know that she can shimmy and so she can. No, I'm late, but I'll be up to date if I can shimmy like my sister Kate. Now everybody in the neighborhood know that you can shimmy and it's understood. Well, I know I'm late, but I'll be up to date if I can shimmy like my sister Kate. Here's the tricky part. Here's the shimmy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And once again, Gretchen, let's introduce the amazing Worthington City Band. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Bill. A total change of pace. That was fun. All right, it is intermission time. So kiddos, we need for y'all to come up right here in front. There's a couple lovely young ladies here who will lead you in the Candy March. Kids of all ages can come, and thanks to Johnson Jewelry and the Stag for providing candy for this whole season. Tonight, they will be marching to the song Omaha Beach. Omaha Beach was written by John Edmondson. He has composed and arranged over 600 works for bands and choirs. Omaha Beach was, as you probably know, the code name for a sector of the Allied invasion in Normandy, France during D-Day on June 6, 1944, 80 years ago last month. American troops were given the responsibility to secure this sector, and thousands of soldiers lost their lives during the operation. John Edmondson, who played in the U.S. Army Band for 2 years, dedicated this song to those soldiers who fought bravely against the enemy to restore freedom. So here is Omaha Beach. So when we moved into the house across the street, I didn't know a lot about the traditions or history of Worthington, let alone the amazing Worthington City Band. I knew that I heard a lot of screaming from this area around here, and I knew that a lot of cars were parked in front of my house. Well, now I know a few more fun facts, and the most important one is these guys are in their 131st season, which is amazing. The first time I saw the traditional Candy March, I thought, oh, that's cute. And then when our kids were old enough to be marchers in the Candy March, I thought, oh, that's adorable. And then my kids were old enough to play in the band, and my daughter Katie helped lead the march, and I thought, where did the time go? And now I admit I get sentimental about it. Sentimental Journey is a popular tune from the 1940s. The music was written by Les Brown and Ben Homer with lyrics by Bud Green. Les Brown and his band had been performing the song, but were unable to record it because of a musician strike in 1942 to 44. It lasted that long. When the strike ended in 45, the band, along with Doris Day as vocalist, turned the song into a hit record. The song's release also coincided with the end of World War II, of course, and it became the unofficial homecoming theme for many veterans. Please enjoy this lovely tune while reminiscing and cherishing the memories of days gone by. Here is Sentimental Journey. Sentimental Journey and our next song, Blue Tango, were songs from the big band era. Now, I have a fondness for big band music because, fun fact, my great uncle, Gay Claridge, was a dance band leader in Chicago for more than 40 years. And I didn't really know him very well because our side of the family was the boring side of the family. And we never went to Chicago. I've never been. Oh, wait, I guess I've been once. But anyway, my point is, he died in 1977, and so he was gone by the time I got to Chicago. But yeah, I just always thought, what a cool relative I had. So anyhow, I can guarantee you pretty much that his band played Sentimental Journey and Blue Tango, which was written by American composer Leroy Anderson in 1951. It was the first instrumental recording to sell over 1 million copies, and it could be heard on many jukeboxes and radios. It stayed at number 1 for 15 weeks on the hit parade. You may be familiar with some of Anderson's other compositions, including the beloved Sleigh Ride, The Typewriter, which I believe Lasso played a year or two ago, and Bugler's Holiday. According to music critic Richard Gunnell, Leroy Anderson is one of the great bridges of American music, a musician who tore down the wall between the so-called serious music and popular music. So, enjoy Blue Tango. to ask my dad if any of my uncle's recordings have that song. That was really a fun piece. I can't let this evening end without telling you about Neighbors Helping Neighbors. I'm sure that some of you are familiar with this group that is kind of sprung up in the last few weeks. Suzanne Murphy and Lisa Schutte helped, they started this group, and then the local ministerium with pastors and priests from local churches joined in. And over the past several days, 8 loads of donated items, mostly cleaning supplies and personal care items, totaling approximately 8,000 pounds, have gone out to neighboring towns that have been impacted by the floods. Yes, thank you. And I'm certain that some of you have been a part of that. We will continue to accept cash donations and cleaning supplies. So that's the next thing, cleaning supplies. Those 2 things only through the end of the month, July 27th. These can be dropped off at American Lutheran, American Reformed, Living Waters Covenant, and St. Mary's churches. Clothing and furniture are not being accepted at this time, so hang on to those. Maybe in the future we'll need those, but for right now, it's cleaning supplies and cash. Thank you very much to those of you who have been a part of that. And like I say, this is kind of the next phase, and then we may have other requests in the future. So, changing gears a little bit, I do have to ask you a serious question. Who am I talking about when I say divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived? Do you know? King Henry VIII's wives, that's right. John Kakavas, I don't know how you say it, is an American composer best known for his, fun fact, television and movie scores for Kojak, Hawaii Five-0, Mrs. Columbo, Airport 1975, and several Dirty Dozen movies. But tonight, we get to hear one of his lesser-known pieces, Overture, Court of Henry VIII. You wondered why I was asking you about Henry VIII, now you know. When you think of Henry VIII, you might think of his wives. However, King Henry was considered a talented poet and composer, as well as a skilled sportsman. He played numerous instruments, the lute, the organ, the recorder, the flute, and the harp, as well as having a good singing voice, reportedly. So imagine yourself in Henry's royal court as you listen to Overture, Court of Henry VIII.
such great fun. And once again, I have to point out the weather just held perfectly for us. Not so much maybe tomorrow. So keep your radio tuned. Wherever you get your information from, this concert may likely be in Memorial Auditorium, but it will go on. And yes, thank you, Gretchen. Thank you so very much. Great information. Fun to hear all that history and everything. Bill, where are you, Bill? Hey, Bill. Well, big hand for Bill. Always fun to hear him on that instrument. He plays that so well and got great unique music, great unique style. Tomorrow then, July 4th, Independence Day. Yeah, it's going to be a little drizzly, but we still celebrate. Concert 7:30, Memorial Auditorium. Your Master of Ceremonies tomorrow night will be Father Tim Beeran. Happens to be a former student of mine. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And the intermission entertainment will be, that's what I thought, a mariachi band. Now, those are fun. And it's going to be a great concert. So whether it's here, whether it's Memorial, boy, show up and have a good time and celebrate the independence of our country. We will close our concert like we always do with the America the Beautiful and Star Spangled Banner. Thanks for coming.